Welcome to the Murray City Council meeting for Tuesday, June 21st. If you've got cell phones, and would you mind putting them on silent? I got to do that myself. We'll get started. First item on the agenda is Pledge of Allegiance. I'd ask Mike Dykeman if he would lead the pledge.
The audience would rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, next item is approval of minutes. We have minutes from the council meeting from June 7th, 2016. Same thing. Anybody have any additions, corrections? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move that we approve those minutes of June 7th, 2016.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Now the fun part. We have a special recognition tonight for Murray City Council Employee of the Month, Lisa Shoup. She is the assistant librarian, and we have Kim Fong and Brett Hales presenting.
Come on, Kim. Lisa, can we have you come up, please? We are excited to come on up here. We'll you can come in front of Kim. That's okay for a minute, huh, Kim? And she doesn't block your view, so. Yeah, that's true. But we are excited to have you here. This was a program that we started a few years ago that we wanted to recognize employees, and so tonight you will receive a certificate from the council of appreciation, absolutely, and then we'll put your name back on the plaque, and then also and you've been here 6 years, right? 6 years. Great. And then we have a $50 gift card for you on the back.
Thank you.
So don't tell anybody. You can just keep that yourself.
Let me just grab that for a moment.
Yeah, okay, you're going to read that.
I'm going to read this.
So as a council, we'd like to congratulate you, and then Kim's going to go ahead and we'll let Kim go ahead.
Okay.
Thanks.
Got to read about the nice stuff I said about you. All right. Lisa Shoup is an excellent example of a team player. She is always willing to help and enthusiastically takes on any assignment. As a valued member of our Kids Place team, she plans and performs story times, Game On, our popular gaming activity for school-aged children, and our increasingly popular Magic Treehouse Book Club, which is aimed at first, second, and third graders. Lisa does more than programs in the library. She makes weekly visits to the Boys and Girls Club and Spartan Station to read to children to the children there, inspiring a love of reading. She has received many cards and letters from these children telling them how much they love and appreciate her for reading to them on a regular basis. Murray Library is fortunate to have such a dedicated person working for the children of Murray.
Kim, let's have Lisa introduce her family that's with her friends and family.
Yeah, this is Troy, my husband, and this is Teresa McLeod. She's my coworker.
Awesome.
She's my partner in crime. She's awesome.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to, and you don't have to stay. In fact, run fast. Run far. All right, next item on the agenda is citizen comments. It's the period in the agenda where we accept any comments if somebody would like to address the council on any issues other than the 2 public hearings that are scheduled. We'll take citizen comment on that too. We ask that you limit comments to 3 minutes. Would anybody be interested? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. We do not have a consent agenda. So that takes us to public hearing number 1, which is a continuation of the public hearing to consider an ordinance adopting the final 2016-2017 fiscal year budgets for Murray City, including the library fund. We did take public comment in our previous meeting. We did not close the public hearing to public comment yet, so we have continued that. Justin, do you want to add anything before we see if anyone else wants to speak?
I would. At this point, I thought it'd be nice just to go over the process that we have gone through to get to this point where we're on the verge of passing our budget. So each year, our department heads start the CIP process, the capital improvement planning process, in November prior to this June. And they work on their budget, their CIP budgets and budget requests in November, December, and January. In January, they submit those to our CIP committee, who's composed of the mayor, 2 council members, Jen Wells, and me, that are on this committee, and we try to program that budget. At the same time, we're working on our operating budgets. January and February, our department heads are working on all their operating budgets and getting ready those for submitting to the mayor. End of February comes and goes. They submit it to the mayor. March and April, they're going over their budgets with the mayor, and I'm in those meetings with them. We're going over their different requests. We're trying to fit in employee compensation increases. And the mayor specifically, and the mayor and department heads try to make sure that the budget is balanced before we ever take it to council. Then in May, the mayor presents the budget to our council. And through the Budget and Finance Committee, our chair and vice chair, all our department heads come again and they present their budgets, discuss their budgets with all of you, and go over that. So then that's May and June when we go over that. And now here we are, June 22nd, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Frank. This is when the budget has to be passed each year. It has to be passed before that. And so we've been working on this budget document and this budget for approximately 8 months to get it to this point. So just so everyone knows that, I mean, this is not a quick thing. This isn't, we've gone over this the last month. This is the last 8 months we've been working on this. So I just thought that would be a positive thing for our citizens to know what process we go through to get to this point. There is one small item we need to change on the budget. The addendum says 2.6 million for roads. It needs to be 1.9 is what, because we were saving 700,000 for a road project. I felt like it was inaccurate to say that we were going to do 2.6 million of roads when 700,000 of that was savings.
And that's a change to the intent document, isn't it?
Document, yes.
Okay.
So if we could just make that change of 1.9, that would be, then it'd match the budget document. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Justin? All right. Since the public hearing is still open, we are accepting public comment on the budget. Again, we ask you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. If you wish to speak at any of the public hearings, we do have forms either up front or in the boxes in the back that we ask you to fill out. You don't have to do that before you speak, but please do before you leave. That way we can have names for the record. Would anybody like to address the issue of the budget? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing on the budget and open it for council consideration. And if there are no comments, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I would move approval of the ordinance adopting the final 2016-2017 fiscal year budget for Murray City, including the library fund, with the change mentioned to the intent document.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Camp and a second by Mr. Hales. Jennifer, if you would.
Mr. Hardy? Mr. House?
Aye.
Mr. Alfonso?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, public hearing 2, which is to consider an ordinance amending section 16.16.140F of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to park strip landscaping of double frontage lots adjacent to high traffic volume streets. And I would make note, Tim, are you sitting in as Mayor Pro Tem?
I am.
The mayor is under the weather, so Tim Tingey is sitting in for him.
This item went to the Planning Commission in May, and they provided recommendations on it. It really relates to the double frontage lots. We have that in our subdivision ordinance right now, where you have lots that abut on both sides, two streets, one street on one side, one on the other. And part of the issue and concern that we have had is the maintenance of some of these double frontage lots adjacent to arterial streets with high traffic volumes. One of the issues is people being able to go around and maintaining those portions of the planter strip areas and with vegetation. And so that's why this was brought forward to you. The Planning Commission provided recommendations, felt like it was something that we needed to move forward on as well. So in your packet, there is a proposed ordinance with wording that is identified in there. We have had conversations with the city engineer, with the city attorney's office, my department, about simplifying the original wording that was included in there. Part of it, the original wording in the ordinance talks about the city engineer determining the conditions, if conditions warrant such substitution, and it identifies some of the conditions related to sufficient space and high traffic volume and providing viable landscaping elements. That was the original wording that was included. We sent you a proposed simplification of that wording, and it would include this to substitute for that, and that's what we're recommending. It would state, due to high traffic volumes and limited access by property owners, the required vegetation in park strips adjacent to double frontage lots abutting 13th East, 9th East, the Van Winkle Expressway, State Street, 7th West, 4500 South, Winchester Street, and 5300 South, west of State Street, may be substituted with brick pavers or finished concrete. So rather than having kind of more of a complicated element of the city engineer making determination on conditions, just to simplify it, that if it meets these conditions, that it would warrant allowing for brick pavers or finished concrete. So that is what we're recommending, this substitution with the more simplified wording, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Tim?
Nope.
Okay, thank you, Tim. All right, we will open up this matter for public comment also. Same rules apply. Is anyone interested in speaking on this? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing portion and open it up to council consideration or a motion, or both.
I'll make a motion. Move to adopt, excuse me, the ordinance amending section 1616-140F of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to park strip landscaping of double frontage lots adjacent to high traffic volume streets.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Turner, second by Mr. Hales. Any further discussion on the motion? Jennifer?
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. House?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. All right, we have no unfinished business scheduled. New business items. Number one is to consider an ordinance adopting the rate of tax levies for fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2016 and ending June 30th, 2017. Justin.
All right, we're not having a property tax increase for the library or the general fund this year. As the tax rate goes, it actually drops a little bit as values increase. The rate goes down because the city is, under current state law, we're guaranteed the same amount that we have received in the past except for new growth. So our rate is equivalent to the same that it has been in the past. So any questions on that?
That's awesome.
I think so too.
Thanks, Tim. If there are no further questions,
Tim.
I mean, Justin.
I honestly thought you did that on purpose.
No.
You kind of looked.
That one was just Freudian.
Tim's doing it all tonight.
Tim's been,
Yes.
we had the redevelopment agency meeting beforehand. Tim does all the presentations on that. And I think he's on like 95% of the ones tonight. So everybody's going to be Tim tonight. Sorry, Justin. I would entertain a motion adopting the tax levy.
I'll move that we approve an ordinance adopting the rate tax levies for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2016 and ending June 30th, 2017.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Hales, a second by Mr. Camp. I have one question. Do we know what the numbers are? Did we state that?
I did not state that.
Yes, they are.
Would you
You
go
want to
ahead?
go over them?
Yep.
So for the general fund, it's .001522 on each dollar of taxable valuation. And for the library fund, it's .000370 on each dollar of taxable valuation for a total certified tax rate of .001892.
Thanks. Okay. Any other discussion? Jennifer?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Number 2, presentation review of the Moderate Income Housing Plan Biennial Report. This one is Tim.
So this item is a requirement that we have of Utah State Code, Section 10.9A 408, which states that the legislative body shall review biennially the moderate income housing plan element of its general plan and its implementation. We're presenting that to you tonight. Attached in your information that was included, there is a form application that the state provides all of the cities, and what you see attached is the Moderate Income Housing Plan Biennial Report that they provide the form, and we are to fill that out, which provides all the information that they want. One of the things that I want to note with this is we are in process of updating through our general plan process our housing study and our housing conditions, and so that will be included as you look to adopt the general plan in the upcoming probably this fall is when we'll be looking at that. And so this will be significantly changed. So what we are stating in this report is that we are working on that, and that will change as we adopt the general plan. But in the meantime, this goes through where we're at with our housing conditions, which go back to our housing market analysis that was done in 2009, and that's attached as well. So it's simply you are to review this, and we will submit this on. This is part of the process for your review of this. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer any of those.
Questions? Thank you. All right, no further discussion. I would entertain a motion.
I'll move. What kind of a motion do we make with?
Oh, we don't. This doesn't require action.
I'm sorry. Yeah, this doesn't.
It's going.
Sorry. It's a long day. I was looking at the next one. All right, we will move on then. Item number 3 is consider a resolution appointing city representatives to the Redevelopment Agency of Murray City, the RDA Taxing Entity Committee. Tim, again.
As we've been moving through the process of making some modifications to our redevelopment areas and meeting with our taxing entity committee, we'll be having an upcoming meeting here in July. In reviewing this issue, a couple of months ago, we had the redevelopment agency outline who would be and approve who would be the taxing entity representatives. After conversation with our attorney's office and research of the state code, we are required to have the city council appoint the taxing entity committee representatives. What they do is any changes or any adoption of redevelopment area plans, which really fosters economic development in our city, they would be 2 of the representatives representing the city. Just for the public's understanding, there are 2 representatives from the city, 2 representatives from the school district, 2 from the county, a representative from the state school board, and then also 1 representative from all the other smaller taxing entities. So what we are proposing here is that this resolution be adopted, which would appoint 2 city representatives. As outlined in the resolution, those representatives would be the chair and vice chair of the redevelopment agency board as outlined in this. So we're recommending approval of this attached resolution to formulate or to have 2 representatives be on the taxing entity committee. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Okay, thank you. Then on this one, I would entertain a motion.
Okay, then I will move to adopt the resolution appointing city representatives to the Redevelopment Agency of Murray City Taxing Entity Committee.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Ms. Turner and a second by Mr. Camp. Jennifer.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. House?
Aye.
Mr. Houseman?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4 is to consider a resolution approving an interlocal agreement between the city and the state of Utah Department of Heritage and Arts for receipt of grant funds for support of certain year-round programs. Doug.
Thank you. Murray City did apply for and receive a grant in the amount of $9,000 from the state of Utah for the city art programs that we have. Specifically, it's for our summer concert series, which include our evening performances, our children's matinee, and we have a few family night activities going on. We received money to help fund the storytelling activities that we have going. We received money to fund the folk art activities, and then finally to assist with bringing in outside groups to perform in Murray City. So it is because it is an agreement, we have to have the agreement approved by the City Council before they will send us the money. Well, that's why we have it before you tonight and ask you to consider approval of the agreement.
Thank you. Any questions for Doug? Okay, thanks, Doug.
Just a comment. Thank you, Doug, for going after these grants. I know your people work really hard. I know Mary Ann works hard looking for places for grants, so thank you for that. With that, I would move approval of the resolution approving an interlocal agreement between the city and the state of Utah Department of Heritage and Arts for receipt of grant funds for support of certain year-round programs.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Camp and a second by Ms. Turner. Jennifer, if you would call for the vote.
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. House?
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Camp?
Aye.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Aye. And last, consider an ordinance imposing a temporary ban on the discharge of fireworks and other ignition sources in specified fire risk areas. Mike.
Well, I'm here, I think, representing Chief Rodriguez, but as the fire marshal, I was more than happy to do this, especially when I went home this evening and turned on the news briefly. The top 3 stories are wildfires in Washington County, Iron County, Duchesne County, and give it a couple more days, we're going to have every county involved. So our timing is just perfect on this. And the reason I say that is because you need to be aware that legal fireworks, go on sale June 23rd. So we're a couple of days away and all through the holidays. With that, we've worked on an ordinance. We do this each year. It's a temporary ordinance that bans the discharge of fireworks in certain areas of the city. I'd like to just briefly tell you about those areas. Along the Murray Parkway Trail, within 300 feet of the Murray Parkway Trail, fireworks are banned in Murray Park and within 300 feet of Murray Park. And the other major area is within 300 feet of Wheeler Farm. What you need to understand is Wheeler Farm is Salt Lake County's property. They fall under Unified Fire Authority, but the area surrounding it is Murray City, and we ban fireworks in those areas. Violations of this ban are in violation of Murray City Municipal Code and the penalties that are included therein. So I feel it's really important. We're just a few days away from really having, I think, some serious fire concerns in the city, and our timing is really good on this. So I would encourage your support of this temporary ban.
Thank you. Any questions on this? And as I'm sure a lot of us remember, including the neighbors along the Jordan River Parkway, we had that fire go through there that could have been a lot worse, but for the quick response of our fire department. So it's timely. Thank you.
You want a
Any other
motion?
questions?
You ready for a motion, Mr. Chairman?
If there are no other questions, yes.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve an ordinance imposing a temporary ban on the discharge of fireworks and other ignition sources in specified fire risk areas.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Nick Ponsky and a second by Mr. Hales. Jennifer?
Ms. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Howe?
Aye.
Mr. Hupkey?
Aye.
Mr. Kent?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye. That finishes up our agenda, takes us to the report of the mayor. Tim, do you have anything you want to cover?
As a matter of fact, I do.
All right.
He's on a peak.
I was going to ask how much time that you would allow me to have, but I won't
It's
go into that.
5 minutes to 7, a minute.
Yeah, I could probably do a power. I just wanted to mention the mayor. He's actually on family vacation. He's
good.
He's heading to California. He's probably already there by now, visiting family. And I have proof because he did send a text message to me of Baker, California, and the thermometer, and it is 106 there, or at least it was earlier today.
Wow.
So anyway, that's where he's at, but I'm sure he'll be here next time, and probably wishes he
got away,
was
yeah.
here getting out of the heat, so.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? I want to make a quick observation. I'll embarrass the chief. I told him this already, but we have a large neighborhood picnic in our area, and they've got a good band, and there's a lot of people who attend. And I turned around about halfway through the picnic and noticed a police officer standing in the middle of the street with his car pulled over, and I thought, oh, great, somebody's called the police on our neighborhood party. And one of our officers, Officer Stone, had just taken it upon himself to stop by and talk to people. He'd seen that we had a gathering, took a minute, handed out stickers to the kids, talked to the adults. It was a big hit. People came up to me afterwards and said, that's gone a long way to boost relationship between the neighborhood and the police, and it's a credit to the chief. He's really been pushing community policing, and I just wanted to put that on the record, Chief. Thank you. We've got truly the best police department in the state, so thanks. And if there's nothing else, we stand adjourned.